Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Between the Scenes with Marty and Mack, brought to you by the Triple Play Fantasy Network. As always, Mack and I will be bringing you the best hitters and pitchers to stream for the upcoming week, which is week 21, August 30th through September 5th. Mack, how are we doing on this Saturday morning?
Beautiful Saturday morning. It's pretty nice here in Nashville, Tennessee. Sun is leaking in through the windows.
The birds are
chirping.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm glowing. How you doing?
Man, as I was telling you offline, we lost power in Detroit here, so we're in this undisclosed hotel. That's I wouldn't stay here on a vacation, but hey, there's air conditioning. We have Wi-Fi. Life is good. We have
walls bring out the red in your beard.
Yeah, is that it? Yeah, the emergency, the fire alarm thing behind me or whatever it is. Really, it's a perfect accent to Marty and Mack. But, hey, can't complain. We got 2 more days of week 20 baseball. So let's hop into our hitters, Mack. How do we do this week?
It was okay. 1 hit and then a couple of okays. We'll start with Josh Rojas. Rojas was on fire for about 3 weeks. And then he kind of fell off the last week, which was sad. He's gone 4 for 25 with very little counting stats. I think he scored a run, mostly singles. So not a great week.
I picked him up.
Rojas. Yeah, same.
I picked him up for this week in a 10-team league. So I even kind of took a little bit of a leap. It was either him or Colton Wong, and I went with Rojas.
I mean, Wong hasn't had a fantastic. He's had a better week than Rojas, but it's not been like
some more counting stats, but no steals. And we'll get into that because that's my week 20 hitter too. But Rojas let me down a little bit.
Yeah, same. I still think he's a pretty good play if you need some average, generally speaking, but just an off week for him.
Generally speaking.
And then we got Bradley Zimmer, and Bradley Zimmer's had a good week so far, and he's got 2 days left to add on. He went 2 for 4 last night, and he's 5 for 13 on the week. He didn't start one of the games this week, so he has a little bit fewer at bats than the other guys. But
dude, this is a deep cut, man. I mean, you're picking up a guy 2% rostered, and you got a home run from him and stuff. I mean, listen,
2 runs, 3 RBIs, and a steal.
So, and a steal.
Yeah, he had a combo meal 2 nights ago.
There you go.
Yeah, I think he went 2 for 3 with a home run and a steal 2 nights ago, something like that. So
he has an outside shot of being a 10, double-digit home runs. He's already a double-digit steal guy. So maybe a sneaky guy for next year? I don't know.
Maybe. He might be. I mean, if he's able to leave this season doing well and win a starting job out of the gates with Cleveland, which is not hard to do. So,
It's hard to know what they're going to do ever, but yeah.
And he's got a little bit of, if you look at his Fangraphs page, he's got a little bit of prospect pedigree at a 55 future value grade when he was coming up. And he's not a super old guy. He's just not really had much of a shot. He could be one of those.
How old is he? Yeah, I don't know. It's not pulling up. But yeah, he doesn't.
I think he's 28, 27, something like that. He might be younger, though. I can't remember.
He's 28, yeah.
28, yeah. So he's got some speed. He's got like the potential to be sort of I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if the Giants got him somehow next year because he fits that mold.
That'd be such a Giant play. Well, he has to hit 30, and then he's allowed to go on the team.
Yeah, then he can go to the Giants. And then finally, I had J.P. Crawford, who was 4 for 20 with 4 runs and an RBI. So he scored some runs, but not been great otherwise.
He had bases loaded opportunity against Brad Keller because I was watching that because that was my pick, and he luckily, luckily for me, he struck him out. But I was like, oh, here's the Mr. JP.
This is it. Not the best week hitting wise for average, but Zimmer ended up being a good play, which I'm happy with. And Rojas and Crawford didn't kill you; they just didn't get a ton of counting stats. So and that's the price you pay for streaming guys sometimes. But
I'll lead. I'll go through mine, and I'll lead with a killer. Aristides Aquino, 1% rostered, and even at that, he's over rostered. 0 for 11 so far this week. I hope no one listened to me. Tyler Naquin's the guy. He'll always be the guy. Aquino will never be the guy. Let's just
Naquin, 16-game hitting streak, baby. He's been a plug and play in my lineup for 2 weeks now.
I played against him last week and I lost the matchup 5-6. So something like that. But yeah, he's a monster right now.
Yeah.
Aquino was absolutely brutal, but something a little bit more positive, Mr. Colton Wong, who I should have picked up instead of Rojas, but I mean, I think I was just excited to pick up Rojas. I've never picked him up before. It was a new guy for me. Wong, I picked him up a bunch.
The shiny new toy.
Exactly. But, Wong was 4 for 17. He hit you a home run. He got you 3 runs, 3 RBIs. So, not crazy great, but you'll definitely take it off the waiver wire, especially at a second base eligibility. And, 2 more games left. He could get you another steal and a home run pretty easily. Number 3 was Christian Walker, which I'm going to actually look at this really quick. Overall for the week, he's fine. I mean, he's doing actually pretty good. Probably my best hitter, actually. He's 6 for 19. He slashed 400, 526, 600 with 1 home run, 5 RBI, and 3 runs, which you're like, that's by far your best. Why are you hesitating? Because if I'm pretty sure he went 5 for 5 last night. And before that, the rest of the week, he was absolutely terrible. So on the not last night, but the night before, he was 4 for 4. So up until that point, he wasn't doing that well. But then last night, that's when he hit the home run. So and this is what we talk about, 2 days completely changed this whole week.
Yeah, like Santander last week. I think over 13, then double dong day on Sunday. So
Santander, and this week he hasn't stopped. I don't know if you've noticed.
No, he hasn't stopped.
He has 2 home runs this week with 4 RBIs.
Yeah, I mean, he previously, when I recommended him as a streamer, I mean, he was hitting the brakes off the ball, and then he just took a brief hiatus to go over 13 in the middle. Yeah, in the middle of the week, and then thankfully, right at the end of it, he had a double dunk day to salvage it, and then went right back to being on fire. So I don't know why he couldn't have just stayed the course, but
kept it going.
Yeah.
Because then he'd be, like Mike Trout.
Yeah.
He kept doing that. Christian Walker overall was my best player. And Wong was number 2, and Aquino was absolutely brutal, but one that's 1%. Let's move on now to our pitchers. How do we do there?
Not well. Patrick Corbin is bad. That is erase everything I said last week, because I remember I recommended him, but only if he could keep his fastball at the right velocity, if he could keep his pitches, if he could keep working the corners, and he just did not. He gave up 6 earned runs on 4 hits, 2 walks over 3 innings pitched. He had only 3 strikeouts, and he is on pace to become only the 3rd qualified pitcher to have an ERA over 6 since 2015. The other 2 being Matthew Boyd and Lucas Giolito. So,
Hey, bounce back candidate.
Yeah. Corbin, I think maybe his better days are behind him. This might be a bounce away candidate. So I'm so sorry, everyone. He couldn't even get past the Mets offense that has been stinking it up.
Or Miami.
So, that was the Miami.
But no, it wasn't just you that was on Corbin. Prominent national fantasy baseball analysts were also talking about his uptick in velocity after you talked about it, because then the previous week I was listening to some other podcasts and they talked about Corbin. Keep an eye on him, pick him up, great matchup, etc. So it's baseball. You don't know.
Sometimes your pitching is random.
It is.
And then Michaelis did not have a good start either. He went 4 1/3, 8 hits. He gave up 3 earned runs, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. Not what you look for.
Didn't we say don't stream against Pittsburgh? Haven't we said that?
What? I don't think so. I'm streaming against Pittsburgh.
Okay. I thought there was one of those teams where they're terrible, but every time we stream against them, they do really they beat us up. I don't know if it was
Was it Seattle? Maybe. I think it was Seattle.
Okay, I don't know. It's been 21 shows. It could be anything.
It could be anything. Yeah. Pittsburgh's a pretty good team to stream against. I mean, maybe unless we recommend them. I don't know. We'll have to look into that. But I did have one bright spot on the week. Like we said, pitching's just like getting harder because now guys are like, there's no like random guy coming up. Like there's a few of those guys, but we're at the point where teams are making their playoff pushes.
Yeah, it looks like, pretty much set. That's because when you and I do this every week and we talk about it, we'll find people we've never really heard of, or someone that's all of a sudden having a 14 inning stretch where they're doing really well, and it's not.
Yeah,
it's becoming more.
Yeah, but regardless, I had bright spot. It was Eleazar Hernandez. He went 5. He got the win. He only gave up 1 run. He had 4 strikeouts. He gave up 6 hits, so whip a little over 1, but you take the win there. So yeah, overall, Michaelis and Corbin were not good. Hernandez was pretty decent. So, yeah, so one hit on both pitching and hitting, and 2 mediocre swings. And
well. Hey, like we said, the farther you get into the season, the harder this gets. But there's always next week. My pitching was barely any better. Starting with Eli Morgan versus Texas, so the Cleveland Indians starting pitcher. He gave up 4 runs on 8 hits, 2 walks over just a 4 1/3. He took the loss to the Rangers. He left with an 8.31 ERA and just 4 strikeouts. So. If you did lock him into your weekly leagues, which actually his percentage has gone up a lot just in rostership over the last 3 weeks. So tomorrow he plays Boston. So I guess we'll see how that goes as well. It could get worse. So stay tuned. Number 2 is Ranger Suarez. And this was the outing I was looking for him. And he did really well. Against Tampa Bay, he went 6.2 innings, 7 strikeouts, 1.35 ERA, 1.05 WHIP, and got you the quality start. 2 things stand out to me. Number 1, I'm bummed that he didn't get the win, but it is what it is. And this is his longest outing to date. I'm pretty sure he hadn't gone over 4 2/3 innings. So to see him go over 6 innings, super encouraging. I think.
Yeah, I think they
threw season outlook
like 105 pitches or something like that.
Oh, okay.
I mean.
Good.
I can't remember if that was him or someone else, but I'm pretty sure it was Suarez. They stretched out pretty far.
Good.
He gets to start against Diamondbacks tomorrow, right?
Yep, exactly. So I really like his rest of season. I think it's been a pretty amazing roller coaster just in the last 4 months with this guy, going from obscure bullpen arm to the leading closer to nothing to now a relevant starting pitcher.
Yeah, he's pulled a Oscar Inoue.
Yeah, that's true. Oh yeah, that's another guy. So I really like the outing there, and continue to be excited for what he's got on the table for us. And then Brad Keller went back to my unimaginative name of Brad Keller yet again. And when I spoke with Bubba about this on Bench with Bubba, I told him, I even said, stay away from Brad Keller. Every time you pick him up is when he's going to burn you. And I didn't even listen to my own advice. So at Seattle, 4.1 innings pitched. He gave up 2 runs, and then he left the game with shoulder discomfort. So promptly gave up a 2-run homer to Kyle Seager, who's been absolutely incredible all season. And then he bounced. And he's probably – I don't want to say he's probably done for the rest of the season. I think they'll probably just shut him down. But, stay away from him. All right, week 21, let's hop into it. We're at the midway point here. We're making good time, Mac, to get done within 30 minutes, as I know the listeners do appreciate. So we'll go ahead and do that. Week 21 hitters. Mac, hit me with your top 3. Who do you got?
All right, so this is my guy. We're gonna talk about two bounce back candidates and a new guy on the scene. First one is my boy Ian Happ, and Ian was a guy I drafted everywhere,
Me
like
too.
5 teams, 6 teams.
TGFBI.
Yeah. I mean, hey, if you held on, like if you've got him in a best ball or like a TGFBI league or whatever, and he's there and you've held on to him, I mean, I don't blame you for dropping him, but these last couple of weeks you'd be reaping the benefits because he has hit 452 over the last 2 weeks with 4 home runs. He's been on fire. And this is what Happ does. I mean, he's streaky. He strikes out a ton when he's not on it. But the Cubs have a pretty good schedule this upcoming week. I mean, it's not crazy, but I like the matchups. It is, let's see. They get the Twins and the Pirates. So 4 games against the Pirates. I like that. The Pirates have a pretty bad pitching staff. That's a recipe for success when you get a guy who is hitting well against a rough staff, especially like the Pirates. So I like Ian Happ. He's 47% rostered. That rostership has gone up. He's batting third. They moved him out of the leadoff spot, which might have helped him some. Stream him against guys, especially right-handed pitchers. He's a little rougher against lefties as a lefty himself. But, yeah. So then we got Nick Solak. And Nicky Boy looked to be the steal of the season early on, and then he just fell off the table. Got sent back down to AAA, but he got called back up and started his first game a week ago, August 21st. Since then, he's batting .381 with a homer and a steal since being called back up. He's got some other counting stats, scored a few runs. And here's the thing is the Rangers get Colorado at home. And Colorado's splits, their ERA splits home and away is one of the most drastic in the major leagues. For whatever reason, Colorado pitchers pitch much better at home, generally speaking. Yeah. I was looking at maybe recommending Gomber, and then I looked at Gomber's home and away splits, and he has like a 2 ERA at home and an over 6 away. So avoid Gomber if you get the chance. But Colorado's away ERA as a team is 5.17, which is the 5th worst in the league. And he also gets the Angels. And Angels' home ERA is 4.56, which is the 6th or 7th worst in the league. Their away ERA is pretty bad too. The Angels' pitching staff in general is just bad. I think you could make the argument that the Colorado pitching staff is pretty good. I know you've it's a little bit of a hint towards what you've got going on in your streamers, and I would say they got some pretty good guys. It's just really difficult to pitch in and out of Colorado.
So it is. Yep.
So so Colorado at home for Nick Solak. I like both of those matchups. He's been hitting well since coming back from AAA, and 2 bad pitching staffs. Then finally, Nikki Lopez. Nikki Lopez is 39% rostered. All of these guys are super eligible across Yahoo. Happ has second base, third base, outfield. Solak's got, I think, second base, third base, outfield. And Nikki Lopez is second base, shortstop, outfield, I believe. So all these guys can slot in most anywhere in your lineup. Lopez is 39% rostered. This is more of an average and stolen base play. He did hit a home run over the last week, but in the month of August, he has 10 steals. He had a 3-steal game against, who was that? Houston, a couple weeks ago. And he's effectively turned into Whit Merrifield light. Like, they're just letting him run. He's batting .282 on the year. He's got a .354 on base percentage. He's getting on base. And as soon as he's on base, they're letting him run. So
no longer batting 9th. They got him all the way up to 2. He's locked in.
Yeah, he's locked in. So if Kansas City has nothing to lose. They're giving their young guys play, and they're letting guys like Nikki and Whit just run wild. So if you get a chance, you need steals. Everyone does. I like Nikki Lopez a lot. Happ has the chance to get you a steal. Solak, not so much. He's not super speedy. But anyways, Ian Happ, Nick Solak, and Nikki Lopez are the guys.
Yeah, Mac, I really like your balance. I think all 3 of those players can provide you some steals, and the top 2 can get you some home runs too. I don't think if Nikki Lopez hits you a home run, then I'm going to Vegas with you, because that would be unbelievable. But I really like that balance. I think there's a lot of good power there, and some sneaky upside for stolen bases. All right, so I'll take a look at my week 3 hitters, and I went back to the well on the first one. Connor Joe, I can't quit him. 23% rostered, OBP monster, in and out of cores. It doesn't matter, baby. You can do it all.
Yeah.
3 games at Texas. The Rangers pitching staff is horrible. I was actually going to look it up, and I was like, I don't need to look it up. They're bad. It doesn't matter what that number is. It's bad. And then he comes. Then he has 4 games at home versus your boys, the Braves, which they're a good staff. But anytime we got 4 games at home in Colorado, anything could happen. Connor Joe, first base and outfield eligibility. Just get him in your lineup and just relax. I think I'm holding on. I plan on holding on to him until probably the rest of the season, honestly. Number 2, Brandon Marsh. So, wait, you're going to say something?
No, agreed. That was just agreement.
I appreciate that. I don't know if you'll agree with this one, though. Brandon Marsh. So, we've seen the bad Marsh. This is the version, I'm not going to say we thought he was going to be when he first came up, but this is the version that we'll take. What is it? I think over the last, what do they got? Over the last few weeks, he's finally starting to get hit. It's finally starting to hit after they called him back up. He's only 10% rostered. They have 6 home games this week. They do the Angels, 3 versus the Yankees, 3 versus Texas. So I really like it there. He's been just kind of doing a little bit of it all.
Yeah, he's looked good. I've watched a lot of Angels games recently.
Okay. What have you seen?
His at-bats have been a lot more competitive, just making hard contact. I watched a game the other day where he hit 2 triples, I think.
Jeez.
One of them was definitely a home run. They didn't review it for some reason, but it would have been his first career homer. It went off the top of the wall, and it's pretty clearly a homer, but they just didn't
that was
get review in
probably
time.
His 4 for 6 night, right, against Baltimore the night before he hit his first home run.
It was pretty close before his first home run, and those few games he was making a lot of hard contact, spraying the ball to all fields, and he's just so fast. He's really freaking fast.
He's already got 3 stolen bases on the year. He's batting .264. He's got you that home run like we talked about, and he took his average just playing the Baltimore for those 3 games. He was batting .226 all the way up to .267. He took his OPS from .636 to .722.
Nice.
So, as who was it? Gleyber Torres can attest to. You play the Orioles more, you'll get a better contract, at the end of your stay. So yeah, Brandon Marsh, keep him on the. I think he's great for just a flyer right now in a deep league. So keep an eye out on him. And then lastly, this is the deep. Emmanuel Rivera, third baseman, Royals, 1% rostered. And he was a guy I was actually watching a Royals game, and he made a really good play at third base. And I watch baseball all the time, and I'm like, who the hell is that? I don't know who that is. So I looked him up, and he's actually been doing really well since he's been up, the 25-year-old rookie. So he was killing it in AAA. I think it was in Omaha. So since he's came up, he's batting .280 on the year. He has you a home run. He has 5 RBIs. And in the last 6 games, he has 2 steals. So as we talked about over these last weeks, steals really come from an organizational philosophy of whether or not you're going to do it. Whether it's the Padres or the Royals, you see this huge discrepancy from running from team to team. And the Royals just let their players run. So I love this for Riviera. If you're getting stolen bases from your third baseman, you're in elite territory. So I don't know how good he'll be the rest of the season. I don't know if he'll be on a roster next year. But for the rest of the season, 1% rostered, take a flyer on him. He can be your what you hope Brian Hayes would be, since Brian Hayes has let us all down there. But so those are my 3 hitters: Connor Joe, Brandon Marsh, and Emmanuel Rivera. Matt, week 21 pitchers. Hit me with the 3 best.
All right, so I'm going to go back to the well. I'm going to piggyback off you for one of the guys. We'll talk about him since we already talked about him. I'll talk about him first. Ranger Suarez. He's still only 46% rostered. I was looking at the pitching this week, and it's just rough. I mean, why not stick with a guy if you can 2 weeks in a row? So I think Suarez is a good play. It's Diamondbacks today. He's slated to go against Miami later in the week. I I don't know, pick them up. I don't see why not. The Phillies are letting their guys go, perhaps to their detriment, because Wheeler has lost 3 quality starts in a row, which is insane, in the 7th or 8th or 9th inning. But for better or for worse, Suarez is getting the run. He's getting fully stretched out. We talked about Suarez enough, though. He's good. I like that play. Let's talk about Adrian Hauser. Adrian Hauser's 21% rostered, and the Brewers get a series against St. Louis. Hauser is slated to go against St. Louis probably. I like that for a multitude of reasons. This is a little bit of a risk, and I would monitor it because, as we mentioned on the show, the Brewers have been doing bullpen games with some of their guys. And Hauser is one of those guys that gets one every now and then. Although his last start, I believe, was a bullpen game because he only went 3 1/3. So I don't expect Hauser to get another bullpen game. I expect that to be one of their other guys, Anderson or Lauer.
And he was coming off the COVID list, too.
Yes, and he was coming off the COVID list. St. Louis is one of the worst offenses in the league. By WOBA standards, they're 23rd in the league. They only have a 305 WOBA. They've got some big swing and miss guys, but Hauser is good at limiting hard contact and getting quality starts and win chances. So I like that play. And then finally, J.A. Happ against Cincinnati. And this is one of those where I think you got to pay attention to what's been going on and the splits. Happ over his last 3 starts he's actually been pretty darn good. Mm-hmm. He went 6 his last start, 5 2/3 the start before that. He's probably been St. Louis's best pitcher that not named Adam Wainwright for the last couple of weeks.
Shouts out to Adam Wainwright for just
good Lord. What a man. What a beast.
Right.
But nothing else to say. But Cincinnati is one of those teams that has one of the largest discrepancies when you're looking at splits versus lefties and righties. They destroy righties. They're sort of the Jesse Winker offense. Winker destroys righties, can't hit lefties. Cincy in general is the same way. They've got quite a few guys on the team who are lefty power bats. They've got a 303 WOBA against lefties. It's the 5th worst in the MLB. Contrast that against the righties, and they're one of the best offenses in the MLB. So I like this play because a lot of people won't be on it because you look at Happ versus the Reds and you think, I'm going to stay away again from a soft tosser against the Reds lineup. But I think he's been good, and the lefties play well against Cincinnati. So 3 guys are Ranger Suarez, Adrian Hauser, and J.A. Happ.
Beautiful. Ranger danger. Keep it going.
Danger.
Rest of the season. Lock them in. Okay, let's take a look at my 3 here. Starting with number 1, Nestor Cortez from the Yankees. I've never streamed him before, Mac. I'm going to be honest with you. This is the first. I'm coming around on it. Mostly it's because I was looking at his Baseball Savant page. 94th percentile in expected ERA, 90th percentile in expected batting average. He's very good at limiting hard contact. He's in the 74th percentile in a hard hit rate. And what I absolutely love is he's going against the Baltimore Orioles. So, they're not good. So, 20th in WOBA at 306. And just, I think they finally got a win. But overall, I really like, Cortez versus them. Number 2 is going to be Kyle Freeland, as we spoke about before from the Rockies. I am a little bit in love with this guy only for this matchup, though. 23% rostered at Texas. Over his last 3 games, Freeland has 3 consecutive quality starts, and over those 19 innings pitched, he has 23 strikeouts. So the Ks have been there. He's been limiting hard contact. He has a 2.37 ERA over those 19 innings. So, and what's this one against Texas?
Yeah, what's important to note about that is that Freeland, 2 of those 3 starts were away. So he's he's one of the few guys that's exempt, I think, from the home away conversation that I was talking about.
I did a huge deep dive on him for whatever reason, and there is no course effect with him, statistically speaking. It's 3, you're almost at a 4 ERA no matter where you go. I don't know if that's a good thing, but it is what it is. There's not really, but it actually makes Freeland very frustrating in that sense because you can't play the matchups. Where a lot of times,
because he gave up 4 runs to Miami. Yeah. And then 6 2/3 against the Dodgers or whatever. So,
kind of all over the place, but pitching well against a bad team in a good ballpark. I like it. So number 2 is Kyle Freeland. And then 3 is, I think I have a death wish with this one, but I'm just going to do it. Andrew Haney, 51% rostered at the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. So I love it for the revenge game. And then he goes home against Baltimore. So, it's Andrew Haney. I don't know. It could be good, could be bad, but you get 2 starts. I think he's going to get a little amped up for the, the revenge game. And then he goes against, a poor team at the back end. And at this point, if he'll get you double-digit Ks on the week, I'm guessing at least 1 win. And I'm thinking at least 1 quality start. So I like that. Just overall, I think when you combine both those starts, you're going to be happy with what you got from Andrew Haney. So, those are my 3. Nestor Cortez, Kyle Freeland, and Andrew Haney. All right, that will do it for Week 21, Mac. As always, it is a pleasure. Remind the listeners where you can be found and what you do.
I can be found at jchristianmac on Twitter. You can find me writing words at times on Pitcher List, hopefully more in the off-season. I've learned I'm a little bit more of an off-season writer than an in-season writer.
Me too.
I like doing – I don't know.
Watch baseball.
Yeah, I like doing this in-season show, talking about things, but I really struggle to find time to write stuff during the season for whatever reason. Maybe that'll change, but I still tweet.
Well, I think another challenge really quick about that is let's say you start an article today and it takes you 4 days to get that article. Those stats could have completely changed by that 4th day. Yeah. And then you're like, what the hell am I doing?
What am I doing?
I just wasted it. And I'm not one of those guys that can write an article in an hour, unfortunately. So
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
So I like retrospective articles. Look for me in the off season. I'm pretty proud of the articles I put out this off season. Although Rhys Hoskins might be done for the season, I had an article about a resurgence from Rhys. I had some other guys I had pegged early. Oh man, I promised David this would be the lead-in, and it was not. I forgot. Early on in the season, I made the statement that I was avoiding Alex Verdugo, because he was basically Andrew Benintendi for fantasy purposes. And people were like, "What? That's crazy!" Yep. And here we are.
I was one of those people because I thought I still like Verdugo more. Just
I do too.
The contact, and everything like that, but. You put the statistics together, and you showed them. It's like looking in a mirror, dude.
Yeah, they have almost the same. I mean, Verdugo's got some better X stats, but for fantasy purposes, Benintendi's actually been slightly better outside of average and OBP. He's got the same amount of home runs, similar runs, RBIs. He has fewer runs, but he's in a much worse lineup, and he has 3 more steals than Verdugo. The thing with Verdugo is he's going to have to change his approach. Honestly, he'll have to put more loft on the ball. He hits way too many grounders. The contact is killing him. He makes him a much better real life player than fantasy player, I would say.
Got it.
In my opinion, I want to do a deep dive on him in the off season. But regardless, that's off topic. You can find me at jchristianmac on Twitter, writing words at Pitcher List at times, doing this video series here with Marty on Triple Play Fantasy. Tweeting away, tweeting about the Braves, tweeting about pitchers.
Yeah, hopefully your Braves can continue to chug it along and they can stay within the wild card and get them. Hey,
they're winning the league.
I see.
They're winning the division.
You got okay. All right. I like it. Okay, division. I want to see you. I want to see the screenshot of you putting $100 on that. But you'll do it. But as always, you can
with 5 games up. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, they're already. It's 5. I thought it was 3.
No, they're 5 games up. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, pretty good then. And as always, you can find me Marty_Tallman, writing words at Triple Play Fantasy, and also for Motor City Bengals. Thank you guys very much. Hope you have a good week, and actually, you know what? Good luck on the upcoming Week 21. We're getting close to the playoffs. So, as always, thank you very much, and have a great weekend, guys. Bye-bye.
Absolutely.